Hey guys, this is a little different from my typical content. I'm not going to be as engaged. I'm going to be multitasking, and you'll see in a second what I'm doing. You won't see, but you'll hear. I'm on a journey that I feel like a lot of people can kind of relate to, understand, but I'm going about it in a different way than most people do. And I thought I would share that because there have been so many times in my life where I feel like I wanted answers for this particular struggle. Now, here's my answer. Is it the right one? I don't know. So let me just put a disclaimer because I don't think I'm going to edit this much. Let me just put a disclaimer right now. If you ruin your life, that's your fucking fault. Any advice that you hear on this is just that, advice. You don't got to take it, or maybe you can. Like, it's up to you at the end of the day. But right now, let's say we have a saying, like me and my friends created a while ago. It's something that we use to talk about gardening in a way that we could talk about it around our parents and they wouldn't know what we were talking about. So we had a plug back in the day. His name was Pablo, and that's what he went by. It was like a father-son business. Anyways, so when we, at a certain point, wanted to go and, garden, instead of saying like, oh, you want to go and garden, we would be like, oh, you want to go talk to Pablo? Oh, I talked to Pablo last afternoon. That was a great conversation. This is how we would talk about our gardening activities and without red flags. So that's what I'm going to use to talk about it here because, yeah. So I've been talking to Pablo pretty much since I was 19. Right now I'm getting ready to have a conversation, get you. But I've been talking, 19, 18, maybe like college, freshman year, second semester. That's when it all began. But my relationship with Pablo, I would say at that point was like an acquaintance. Like we were never meeting like face to face, like one-on-one, right? Like it was always through someone who knew Pablo, right? That was always how we were having our conversations in group settings, if you will, right? So when I got to maybe my third year, I think, my junior year, that's when I was doing things like working, like going to internships and stuff. And that's when I think my dysfunctional relationship with Pablo truly started. Like at that point, I'd say we became friends because every single time I would come home from that fuck ass job I was doing, the first thing I would want to do is have a great ass conversation with Pablo. And sometimes, like me and Pablo, sometimes it was just one conversation that was in the kitchen, a little smoky, little some, Other conversations, we were having full on meals. I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to use this metaphor. Basically, I was talking to Pablo in ways where I was taking more of a dosage of him than I probably had the energy to do. But because I kept doing that, like maybe talking to him for so long every single night, like that just became my baseline. Having conversations with Pablo after I came home from work, like that was one of my traditions. And my thing was, and it still is, like, because it evolved, obviously, at a certain point, it became having conversations before work as well, before and after. Okay, I would wake up early in the morning just so I would have time to talk to my bestie. And that's what he became, my best friend, bro. And it was because, like, I was escaping the world, bro. Like, that's literally, and that's something that has helped me a lot on my journey, whatever this fucking journey turns into. It's like, I had a meditation session that led to some, like, deep openings of, like, childhood wounds. And one of them revealed to me that these addictions that I felt like I've had, like, a predisposition to, these addictions that I felt like I was fighting for my life. Everybody else can have a normal relationship with alcohol, with Pablo, with everything, but I'm just out here, and that's not true. But anyways, so yeah, I just felt like, oh, maybe I'm just like doing it wrong or da 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 da. Like I just took it on as like a moral failure, me not being able to manage this relationship in a way that I felt like was productive. Because other people too, they would be like, I could be productive when I'm talking to Pablo. Not me, bitch. Not me. I'm the stereotype. Okay, I'm not doing shit but eating and maybe contemplating. That's what I do when I talk to Pablo. So it was really grinding on me. But when I had that meditation session, I got the understanding. I had like a flashback of a moment where I truly needed saving. And the thing that came to save me at that time was escapism. That was the hand that came to be like, it's okay, my darling, I got you, you know? And when I was younger, that escapism looked like maladaptive daydreaming. It looked like listening to music all the time. It looked like always like never really being present, even though I was there, right? I wouldn't say it was severe, but it was concerning. And so as I got to my next stage of life, which was like adulthood, young adulthood, college, everything like that, this new thing came about where my mind realized, oh, you can escape even further into the depths with even less effort. Like you can just run if you on these substances, if you're doing the thing, whatever the substance was. And obviously it latched onto that easily because I already had like similar coping mechanisms, but I just wasn't using those substances to aid in it. I heard once that drug use and alcohol use and all that isn't the problem. It's the solution. And when I said that, because I said it to like my parent at the time, and they didn't understand it at all, but it's really so clear to anyone that has ever struggled with any type of substance use, because it's like, it was never the problem. The substances were never the I mean, yes, the ways that it makes you act and the consequences that it has are an issue. They become an issue. But the alcohol and the substances themselves are not the problem. They are the thing that you go to solve the problems. They are the things you go to be like, okay, I feel better now. Do you know what I mean? Like, they are the things you go to make you feel less of a fucking piece of shit. That's what it is at the end of the day. And so to try to like remove a solution when you haven't solved the problem just seems kind of crazy to me. And like, let me finish. Like, okay, so my relationship with Pablo evolved. And because I realized I was getting to a point where like I was very deep in relationship with this with Pablo, and I felt like it was affecting my relationship with myself, I was like, okay, we're gonna have to take breaks. And that's what my relationship with him has been since. Like, we just take breaks every once in a while, and then I come back. And every time I take a break, I'm considering like, should I just stop forever? Should I just never start? But something or someone or whatever it is pulls me right back. And as someone who's literally been deconstructing Christianity in her own life, it has been a very difficult journey to kind of moralize. Do you understand? Like, I feel like it is a moral failing every single time I smoke. And, every time I talk to Pablo. I don't know what YouTube's rules are, but clearly I feel like y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So because of that, the shame and the cycle of shame would just be, and so that like, I would feel bad about smoking and that would make me feel like shit. And because I feel like shit, that would make me want to smoke. And then I would smoke and then feel like shit. And it was a cycle, right? But the reason I told you about that whole meditation story is because I realized like I was treating this thing as if it was something that was made for against me. If it was some demon that came to battle me, like, no, this was my savior at some point in my life. Like, and that's the thing we don't realize about a lot of our dysfunctional behaviors. Like, this was the thing that saved you. Even when I'm talking about my college experience, even now, as it's like, I know I will be able to look back. Well, I don't know actually, but I hope I'll be able to look back at this point in my life and find some empathy for this version of myself that is using this thing to help her make her way through. Just like escapism was there to make sure I survived my fucking childhood, that coping mechanism has still followed me into my young adulthood as I try to navigate the new things that I'm encountering, the new problems, the new obstacles, the new changes. So yeah, excuse me if you see that. Is this gonna make me whatever? So excuse me if like that's such a big deal. And again, it's like everybody has opinions about it too. Like I said, smoking before work or talking to Pablo before work, Like, People drink 10 cups of coffee throughout the day. Nobody thinks they have an issue. But if I say I need to smoke a little J before I come through the doors, everybody's acting like I got a problem. And my thing with the whole sobriety thing, like I talked about with the whole problem, solution, whatever, it's like, again, you're taking the solution and not offering any other ones, one, but then also two, you're not solving the problem. So you will find other solutions, maybe some that are more consequential than a little smoke in the smoke, you know? Like, that's all I'm saying. It's like, I'm not out here doing hard drug. I'm out here doing light, you know? Like, but I guess, like, the perception of this drug has also always been in conflict, because white people wanted to make sure that we associated this with people of color, and therefore something that is bad, wrong. And again, it's like same thing with when you have eating addiction, or when you have a gambling addiction, a shopping addiction, work addiction, like sex addiction, all these other things that you could be addicted to damn near anything. It is not a moral failing to be addicted to something. It is not a moral failing to smoke, to drink, to overeat, you know, to shop too much, to whatever. It's not a moral failing, at least not in my perception. It is you as a human being coping in a way that will be dysfunctional at some, well, you know what? Actually, I don't know that to be true, because the reason I came here to talk a little bit is to say, to almost debunk the whole sobriety thing. Obviously, I'm still young, so I don't know what I'm going to think about this topic 10 years from now. I don't know if I'll be coming out with something, oh, we destroyed my life. You know, like, but to me, I feel like when I look at people who are doing their sobriety journey, it's low-key all they can fucking talk about. Been sober for 4 years and it's a struggle every day. Well, that doesn't sound enticing at all. That doesn't sound nice in the slightest. And my thing is, if sobriety, rehab, all those things really worked, why do they have such a high level of people going back to the same drug? Like people going, like, it's not like they're ever really cured, so to speak. They still always have an affinity for. And if they even get one little sip, one little taste of the thing that they've been fighting for 10 years, they're back in the trenches. So how was it something that was so life-changing? I mean, yeah, you're going to change your life after being clear-eyed for the first time in 5 years. Like, yes, your life is going to change. And you're going to be able to do things that you might not have been able to do when you were on certain substances. But at the end of the day, at the same time, simultaneously, like, how difficult is it to live as someone who feels like a part of themselves is missing? Because I think that's what it is too. Like a lot of us, like think about the stoner identity, or the people that like to drink, that like to party. Like it is part of their identity. This substance is part of their personhood. So to take that away just because it's bad for you, like, okay, everything is bad for me now. Like, there are microplastics in my gut as we speak. And it's not like I did anything to get them there. There was nothing I needed to do. People are dying of lung cancer today that have never smoked a day in their life. Like, to make the health argument sound stupid in our 21st century reality, right? My thing is too, with when it comes to addiction, and why I don't think it's a moral failure, I think it's a societal one, is because think about just think about 200 years ago, or 100 years ago even. Well, okay, let's just think about a time before the modern day, right? When you wanted to get alcohol, first of all, like you would have to go to the same storekeeper every single day, okay? And they would see you drunk as hell, all right? If shame doesn't keep you from going to that store, like that is just one level, okay, of something that people don't have to fight against. Because again, you can go to 10 different liquor stores all within a couple blocks radius, all right? And aside from that, you can order it online, you can get it, and nobody even needs to know that you are the person, because you're going to get a different delivery driver every damn near day, like, you know? So there are no things. And when I was in like the peak of my struggle with alcohol, it's not really a struggle with me now. It was like not being able to go to different places and being able to make sure that the same person wasn't seeing me do these things, like that was very helpful in facilitating my addiction. And then on top of it too, like, oh God, what was I gonna say? I don't want to stop it too much because I'm not editing this. I'm just gonna post it. On top of it as well, like, let's think about even before that, the process of making alcohol, the process of growing marijuana, the process of doing all these things took so much labor that they weren't treated cheaply. Like, same thing as like seasonal fruits, right? If you know that the only time you'll be able to eat peaches is in the fall after a whole like year of growth and whatever, putting them in at the right time, like, you are going to savor those peaches. You won't just eat 2 half peaches and then throw the rest out. You know what I mean? Like, you will savor them and use them and be cognizant of it, right? Same thing with these things, because I really do feel like these leaves are medicine. It's funny because I saw an ad, or no, it wasn't an ad. It was like a TikTok video about cannabis being used to treat autism in like young autistic patients, like very young, like, you know. And of course, like, initially you're like, what, young kids smoking weed? Like, that doesn't sound good. But the person example they gave was like a little kid who was violent and like, you know, self-harming, like, you know how extreme levels of autism can be. And their parents, they didn't talk about how they came across it, but I'm guessing like one of their parents was a smoker and thinking, maybe this will help. And then gave them a little, and then it changed their life forever. And for us, like, neurodivergent folk, like, I don't know what's wrong with me, and I don't think it's wrong. Don't get it twisted. But there is a way that my brain works that makes it hard to function. I don't actually, maybe not. There is a way society works that makes it hard to function. And that goes back to what I was saying. It's like addiction is not a personal failing. Because again, like, okay, my point was, oh my God, I just be going in 23 circles. I'm not even there yet. Like, I'm completely sober as I'm talking to y'all. My point is like, you would have to go through so much in order to even have the plant, have the drink, have whatever it is, that the only ways that they would use it is in these festivals. Like, they would use, not like in these like feast, you know, like where everybody's getting together to drink, everybody's getting together to smoke, or like parts of the community or the whole community. Like, it is a communal activity, or it is one that is focused primarily on healing, whether it's emotional, physical, mental, whatever. It's healing based. Same thing with the whole ayahuasca industry, right? Right now it's being what's the word? Over harvested, because there is so much demand for it by white Westerners, okay? And this is a traditional medicine that does get you high. Indeed it does. High as a fucking kite. No, high as the clouds, bitch. So, but it connects you to a certain realm. It connects you to a certain, I mean, I feel like it's the same way with alcohol. That's why they call it spirits. And I talked about this in a TikTok. I just feel like alcohol will show whatever spirit is the most in you at that time. So if, like, let's think about the Inside Out, like, council. If like sadness is on that bitch when you start drinking, oh, sadness is gonna be on it all night. If anger is on it, you see what I mean? And again, like, you know how Joy was running the council for her, like she was the main one running it, and then anxiety took over and she was the main one running it. Like, whoever is the main person, main emotion, main spirit running your shit, alcohol will reveal it. And again, it's like, when back in the day, you didn't have to worry about addiction to alcohol, because you had to wait 6 to 9 months for it to even be ready. And then the whole village was partaking, and you go crazy for one night and then you go back to your life. But now you can have that party every night. You can have a party by yourself. You don't need nobody. You don't need no labor. You don't need nothing. You can just walk down to the store. You don't even have to walk. You can just order it. And this is my thing. There's nothing preventing us from using these things that could have been healing, could be medicine, and abusing it. And then therefore abusing ourselves in the process. Again, that's why I'm saying it's not a moral failure. Because I feel like making it a moral thing is just raising the stigma behind it and making people like us, because whoever's watching it, I'm sure you're struggling with something, less likely to be honest about it, because you are seen as such and such and such and such for having an addiction. You mean the thing that everybody has? You mean the thing that literally everybody in this Western society has? I'm telling you, like, everybody's addicted to something nowadays. Everybody's addicted to something. So I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I mean, the reason I was hiding it was because of my family. Because they still, to this day, of course, like, you know, African parents and all, like, the stigma behind marijuana, they worked 10 times over in order to make sure that there was a certain belief behind it. But that's also because the way that marijuana opens up your mind when you're not doing it every single day. And that's something I show with, of course, because once you do it once, you're like, okay, I'd like to feel that again. And I'd like to feel that again. And then you keep on chasing the feeling, but the feeling gets harder to get because you need more and more and more to get there. That's why over time, it just becomes destructive no matter what. And all this, it's not addictive, it's not addictive. Maybe it wasn't. But now, like, this, like, 41% THC shit that they constructing. Oh, and also one thing I will never do again. I used to do it when I was in college, like, again, just very acquaintanceships. But Benjamin, y'all know who Benjamin is? Benjamin, y'all know who that is, right? Yo, I'm telling you, one conversation with my bro. I mean, when I was in college, we could hang and it wasn't that deep. When I was, once I graduated and I was living at home for a little while, I got one at one point just because I wanted to make it easier to kind of hide. And when I tell you, my brain itched, like, I woke up feeling like I shouldn't even be in my skin. Like, I can't even describe it. That shit is killing your brain cells. If you have just been used to using it, you don't understand that it's happening. But I'm telling you now, put that shit down. Go get some hash. Go get some leaf. That's better. That's better than whatever the fuck kind of chemicals are in that shit. I'm telling you now, I know the difference. So, but that's just a side point. My main point is, like, the reason they demonize this stuff to begin with is because it leads to awakenings. Like, we remember the 60s, the 70s, the hippie movements. Like, there is some sort of line between these drugs that we take and the ways that it's not even, I think there was a study. I'm not doing research in this, so you're gonna have to research it yourself. I think there was a study that showed, like, brain function doesn't actually increase when you're on all these psychedelics. It decreases, which just means that, and that's how I feel. That's why I use all these substances and stuff. Like, it quiets my mind so I can actually be more present. So I can actually be like a person instead of a thought bubble. Because that's literally my existence at times, you know? So yeah, it literally, like, slows down, lowers your brain noise, whatever it is. And that means that when we are high, we're actually just seeing the world as it is. I'm like, isn't that an interesting thought? Maybe I'll leave some articles in the description. I don't know. But I say all this to literally say that, like, they wanted to make sure to stigmatize these things so that you stay away from it, not for your good, but for the government's good, for the society's good, the controlled society's good. They want to make sure they have more robots, and you're not a good robot if you understand the meaning of the universe. Like, that's not going to get you to do what they need you to do, follow the programs they need you to follow, you know? So I say this to say, like, with my family, I know the stigma in it is just, it's too much to really explain to them and have these conversations. And I would internalize that. And I used to be like, okay, I have to stop. But it wasn't for me. It wasn't because of what I thought. It's because of what other people think. It's because of what society's telling me. To this day, again, the shame that I feel is because of what society is telling me. And then also, of course, like, I have my own guilt with it because it's like, okay, I do it a little bit too much. But okay, my main point, the thing that made me want to make this video is to make the people who are struggling currently with their addiction, struggling currently with whatever it is, like, and feeling like they're less than a person because of it. Like, bro, it's not even that deep, bro. Unless you really out here, like, ruining people's lives, stealing from people so you can go and buy your next fix. Like, if you're at that level, all right. I'm not talking to you. I'm maybe talking to you a little bit, but I feel like you need some help. You need some real help, okay? To the people that are kind of like me, just dealing with the consistent, like, high functioning addicts. Yeah. What up? You don't need to feel any type of way about you being labeled as such or even labeling yourself as such. Because I know people don't like the word. Oh, I'm not an alcoholic, I'm a drunkard. Oh, I'm not addicted to weed, I'm a smoker. You know, I'm just a stoner. Bitch, like, I got news for you, you know? Like, but it's because we are uncomfortable with the traits that are associated with the label and the stigma that is associated with the label of addict. But I'm saying claim it only because it's like you being stuck in that stigma and feeling a type of way about it is not going to make you come out of it any easier, right? And I say this as, again, I'm rolling up. Like, why are you doing that? Isn't it something you want to stop? Aren't you on a journey? Not necessarily. Like, I mean, the way that I see it, the way that I've been coming to see it is that you literally exist as the version of yourself that was meant to be experienced in this lifetime, right? Like, I don't know if there's lifetimes. I don't know how the universe works. This is just the way that makes sense to me, right? You come down here as a piece of the universe in its collective to get a perspective, a specific perspective of the individual you are and the person, the life that you're living as, right? So all these flaws and stuff that come with that particular perspective are meant to be endured, explored, and experienced. Like, it is part of you. It is part of your life experience to have this stage that you are currently in, where you are facing a struggle with this substance that is outside of yourself, and whether or not you want to continue to have it in your life. Like, that's how I feel about me right now. This part of my life is parts of my life. It's probably not going to last forever. Nothing ever does. So why am I getting my needles up into a twist? Again, the health argument is stupid. We're all going to die anyways. And something is going to, especially in this modern world, like, there are so many things there that are killing you. Like, it actually, for me, does not matter. What is the other argument? Like, the only other arguments are social based. And if you are meeting all your responsibilities and a productive member of society to, like, the base level, the one that is acceptable whether you smoke or not, then who gives a fuck what you do in your room? Like, who actually cares what you do on the weekend or 5 a.m. in the morning before you get to the job? Again, people drink coffee. You see so many people, I'm not me without my coffee. You're addicts. But we don't call it that. We don't consider it that. We only put that label for certain people in certain situations. Even just going out to drink, right? If someone's just like, oh yeah, I don't drink, I had struggles with alcohol. Like, people want to look at them like that's a weird thing. But 9 people out of the 10 there have struggled with alcohol. Especially when we create a society, right? Like, you go into college. I'm speaking on this because that's what I know. You go into college. You literally, like, are experiencing the first amount of freedom you've ever had. You're also experiencing just, like, finally being out of whatever trauma your childhood was and being on your own to deal with the emotions of it. And that can be overwhelming. You're also dealing with a lot of your first, like, experiences when it comes to relationships and sex and, you know, whatever, like, just having a lot of new experiences or just progressing in those experiences, which causes issues, right? So you're just navigating all these things for the first time. And the thing they put right in front of you as a college student is party culture. Go out on the weekends, come outside. I mean, like, I didn't think I was going to enjoy drinking the first time I did it, right? Like, the first time I tasted alcohol, I was like, this is fucking disgusting. Why would anybody drink this? Trust me, I know now. Trust me, I know now. When I'm choking down that tequila, I know exactly why. But again, like, I mean, it was just something I would put so much pressure on myself about. Like, when are you going to stop? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? And, like, eventually, like, maybe, perhaps, I don't know, like, we'll see. But I just feel like what I do is my choice. Like, there's just so much pressure, like, societally, like, when you have a problem, something that's society perceives as a problem, like, there's so much immediate pressure to fix it. But I kind of want to be in this problem phase for a little while longer. Like, I'm someone who is very much, like, always trying to better myself. But there is just some things that I've learned, like, when it is your time, it will be so easy, it's not even funny. Like, that is the thing. I feel like sometimes we try to push ourselves, especially this generation too. Like, everybody wants to be a grandma. Everybody wants to be like, oh, I'm at auntie age, you know? Like, y'all are in your early 20s. Like, what do you mean you're in your auntie stage? Like, you're not, Like, what do you mean? We're young and turn, bitch. We young and turn. What do you mean auntie stage? Everybody want to flex that they're mature. Bitch, I don't want to be. I'm still young. Like, I'm just trying to live. I'm just trying to enjoy before it's all gone. Like, I can't even explain the state of the economy right now. I don't know how much fun we're going to be having for how much longer. I'm going to have my fun. And I remember that in college too. There were people who were trying to be cool with it, like, oh, I'm so mature, I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't go out, you know, I don't do whatever it is. Like, I don't do antics. I'm grown. Like, I'm just gonna focus on my studies. By the end of college, when we were graduating, quote this, one of them came up to me because we were part of like similar friend groups and was telling me like, oh, they wish that they had done more. Because we had in our college experience that time, a little bit of time, and then COVID. And then it took away a big part of our college experiences. So it's like, you didn't do anything then, and now you didn't have a chance to do anything because of COVID. And now you're going into the work world where you have responsibilities. And that's my thing. Like, as we get older, we're only going to have more and more responsibilities. Me smoking at 2 p.m. on a Monday is not going to be acceptable when I have 3 kids and a 401k. Or maybe it will be. I don't know. But my point is, I'll have responsibilities pulling to me other than my own self-satisfaction. Do you understand? And so with that being said, if not now, when? If not now, when? I will allow myself to be a fucking mess for the rest of my 20s. Like, honestly, like, that is just, and it's, I don't know, like, I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, why am I in such a rush to get everything together and to be this like perfect version of myself that I can be pursuing my entire life? Like, once you get there, doesn't that mean like everything is done already? Doesn't that mean you did everything you had to do? Like, no, bitch, I'm gonna take my time. Okay, I'm gonna go the long way. I'm gonna go the scenic route. I'm gonna see everything this life has to offer because I'm gonna get to my destiny anyways. That's the gag. That's the gag. You know, I love that quote, like, one often meets his destiny on the road he takes to avoid it, because it just shows how destiny will come and find you no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are. Even if you're actively trying to avoid it, it will find you. And that is the truth of the matter when it comes to all of these things that we do that we feel so bad about. Again, like, I am separating from the extremes, right? But I know like a lot of us in my generation specifically, we're all kind of dealing with like just a certain level of addictive functions, you know, just a certain level of addiction in all of our lives and our existences. Is it so wrong? The world is on fire. I'm gonna smoke a little some, like, you know, and again, my feelings about this can change tomorrow. They can change next week. I don't know how I'm going to feel, but that's your prerogative. Nobody has to tell you when, how, or what situation in your own life to deal with. If you are actively causing havoc for other people, again, I'm not talking about you. You need to clean that up. You can't say that it's only your problem when it's not only your problem. You're making it other people's problems. But if it's literally the only person you're harming is yourself, because it's like, is it harming me? Is it? Or is this exactly what I need to get through this stage of my life? And when I reach the next stage, I just simply won't need it anymore. We think about certain people, right? I remember there's certain people in my life who in the stages where I felt like I needed to cut them off, it was the hardest thing in the world. Like, no matter what they did, I was like, I just can't leave them alone. I just can't leave them alone. And on a random fucking Tuesday, when that point of my life was over, and they were doing antics that weren't even as bad as what they've been done, and I had just left alone, I was ready to go. And it didn't take anything, any pull, any resistance. I was just ready. I'm not saying everybody's journey with substances is going to be like that, but I already noticed the changes with alcohol. One, because I'm getting older. Oh, the battery died for the light, but y'all can see me. One, because I'm getting older, right? Because it's like, now I can't just chug like a whole like 5 tequila shots and be cool, you know, like in one setting. I'm not saying that's what I was doing. Like, let's say like back in the day, I used to be able to like down a bottle of wine by myself with no struggle. Now, maybe at 2 cups, I'm starting to feel kind of crazy. Like, I'm starting to feel it. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to be hungover. Like, it is just not worth it. So naturally, I find myself seeking it less and seeking less of it when I do. Like, I don't binge drink as often, nearly as often as I used to. You know, thank God the progress has been made. But for some people, it's not enough progress. For some people, it's not fast enough. For some people, you know what like, we're always looking outside of ourselves for approval of how we're dealing with our own shit. Fuck y'all. Fuck what everybody else thinks. Are you okay with how you're dealing with it? And if you're not, why? Is it because of how everybody else sees it? Or is it because of your own thoughts and how you know you're not showing up for yourself? Like, these are things, again, that we just have to deal with within ourselves. Like, I am just understanding how I work as a person and why I fall into certain habits and certain things so easily, why, and what I can do to curtail myself. One thing that's really helping me right now is creating. Another thing that's really helping me is working out, because it kind of feeds that same part of my brain that just doesn't want to think. When you're running at full speed, you're not thinking, bitch, and that's all I need. So the thing is, with substances and smoking specifically, it's just an easier way to get to the mindset that I'm trying to get to, which is just one that is a lot more happy and calm and just easygoing and not so anxious, right? I can do this. I can get to the same state by doing my yoga and eating well and going outside and going to the gym. But again, it's just a lot more steps than just rolling up and smoking. But these are the things that we have to consider. These are the things that we have to understand about ourselves. Why? What? This is like really the shadow work. Everybody just wants you to be better. Like, no, bitch. I need to know why I was so bad in the first place. And now that I'm here and I kind of understand myself more, it's like, okay, can I live in this a little bit? Can I experience her to her fullest extent? Because this is just one of many perspectives that my spirit chose to have in this lifetime. And I'm willing to experience it. Again, once your health starts to be affected, like, all of a sudden all this shit goes out the window, which is why I say, like, you have the freedom to change your mind, right? In the words of Khadijah Mbao, all right? I don't know if that's how you say it, but whatever. My point is, like, do what you want to do until you can't. Is that good advice? I don't know. But that's what I'm doing. We'll see how it works out. Don't feel bad about being who you are and having flaws and having issues that you actively want to work on and not being on the other side of it yet. Don't feel bad about being in the middle of it, because there is a reason for whatever part of your journey you are onto. And once you get to the other side, you will understand. But don't try to rush to the other side. You will get there, because how do I know you're going to get there? Because you want to. That's all it takes, is the desire, and just walk the steps. You know, I remember, actually, that's it. That's it. This was way longer than I was expecting. I didn't even finish rolling. Like, you know, so y'all get the point. I'm going to be posting more consistently. I'm going on a trip soon. I'm going to get this up. I'm going to have one up next week for y'all too. I'm going to keep on going every single week, whether it's Wednesday or Friday or whatever. You're going to see me. All right. So I hope y'all are doing well. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. I know it's been a crazy couple of weeks. I'm going to talk about these fucking distractions that they've been, because I think I'm finally starting to understand what the tactics are. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all liked talking to me. If you want more of this and if you want any similar topics, just let me know. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.